Hi, I'm Kathy with my team teacher Ashmi. We teach Mind to Tell, and as we teach these classes, we often get the question of how to find other writers. Writing is just a really solitary activity. You're doing it by yourself, and it can. We've both had the experience of having it become a little lonely sometimes. So today we want to talk about how to find a writing buddy or a writing community right where you are.
Yeah, so when Kathy and I actually met in our MFA programs about 10 years ago, I was a poet and she was a fiction writer, and we took lots and lots of workshops together. Our full-time jobs were to be friends with this group of people and talk about writing, which was the funnest thing of my life. I loved it so much. I loved every second of it. And if it had lasted for 10 years, I would have stayed in an MFA for 10 years. It was just so fun. And so that experience of being able to write and get feedback and be exposed to what other people are writing, and how other people are perceiving what you're doing was so beautiful and wonderful. And then as soon as I graduated, I had a baby and I moved to another state, and my husband started a PhD program, which made for some pretty quiet time. And I really struggled to figure out my place as a writer and what I was going to do to continue to form community and to reach out and to be a part of a writing experience again. And honestly, that is a lot of what drove our desire to create this course, the Mind to Tell course, is we know that not everybody can take an MF or be in an MFA right now. It's super expensive. You'd have to move your family often, or move yourself. It's it's just not a feasible option for a lot of people. But we do believe so strongly in the power of community. Not necessarily that you're always sharing your writing, but that you are writing together is a really important aspect. So we've tried to do a lot of things that mimic that MFA experience that we both had.
Yeah, and I think that if you have that impulse to connect with other people, there are other people writing alone in their rooms feeling lonely who also have that desire to connect, and figuring out how to connect can often be the tricky part. And that's the exercise that we want to invite you to do today, is to reach out. And there are a couple of ways that you can do that. One is just reach out to a friend that you know. If you like writing, if you love the written word, it's likely that you have a friend who loves to do that too. And we both talked about how we've had this feeling that, like, if I ask someone to exchange writing, then we've got to do all sorts of other friend things too. And maybe you don't. Maybe you can just say, like, these are the terms of what we're doing. Like, we're here to help each other write. So you don't have to feel pressured to engage a lot of people. You can just say, hey, I've written this thing. Do you have some writing that you want to swap? And we could give each other feedback on our work. And that can be really, really, really helpful, just to have someone there as a sounding board, to have somebody there to hold you accountable. I actually have an accountability buddy who is not a writer, that we both have goals and projects that we're working on. And so we commit to each other, oh, I'm going to do this, or I have to run 3 miles. I'm going to do this, or I have to pay this amount of money. And so they're completely different projects, but we just hold each other accountable. And because of that, I've actually been submitting my writing more regularly than I have in the past. That I kind of, if I hold myself accountable, I let it slide. But this other person who I don't want to disappoint somehow is making it so that I'm more accountable to do the writing that I want to do. So reach out to somebody you know who you think you could kind of be mutually beneficial to. Or you can find people that you don't know. If you feel like you are just on a writing island, you're by yourself, you feel really lonely in this endeavor, online is a really great way to find people. You really can just type in the kind of writing you love in Facebook, and there's a group for it. If you like writing science fiction, type that in. If you like writing a certain kind of poetry, type that in. it's likely that you'll be able to find people online, even if they're not right where you are. Or do the things that are writing related that you love. Join a workshop, take a class. The writing group that I've been in for several years now is a group of women that I met through a writing workshop. I just found one in my community. I didn't know if I would need the things I would learn there, which they ended up being really useful, but more importantly, I found some of my people. So there are lots of ways for you to be able to reach out, but just take that one step today.
Yeah. So, thank you. I concur with all of those ideas. And also I am a big advocate of moving to spaces outside of your immediate family. So don't show your writing to your parents. Often don't show it to, if you have a spouse or a partner. They are not the person that should be, if you want them to be useful, they can, but somebody else should be your writing buddy. So go out and look for someone today. There's more information on our class below, which is a beautiful community, both on Facebook, in the live classes. We create workshops that have persisted long beyond the class. So that is our exercise or challenge for you today. So keep writing, because your story is yours to tell.